Now this thing looks like it's going to be a blast. Hi, I'm Ramon and welcome back to All Skill RC. Here we have the Veeniix Storm Master V997. Now this was sent over to me by a company called Ruco. They're big on Amazon, and I will be placing a link in the description for the Veeniix Storm Master V997. So make sure you go back there and check if you're interested. But let's crack this open. Let's see what we get and let's talk about it a little bit more. While we're opening it here, this is a tank style vehicle which uses mechanism wheels, I believe they are. Mechanism wheels, they're like a omnidirectional wheel, which I've always been interested in. I don't own anything with that type of wheel. So Winnie from Ruco reached out to me and asked if I was interested in reviewing their product, and I said, once I saw what it was and I saw that it was one of these omnidirectional vehicles, I was like, sure. Because, like I said, I've always been curious of these wheels and I always wanted to try one out. So I said, sure. So here we are. They sent it to me, so we're cracking it open. Take a look at it. One of the things, it's so much different than any other RC I have just because of the way these wheels can move around and the directions they can move. So I figured it'd be nice to have in my collection. But here we are. Let's slide it out the box and see what we get all included in this. All right, so everything comes packaged in foam, which is nice. We know it's very well protected. What ages is this for? Ages 14 plus. I'm a little bit over 14, but I get excited with things like this. All right, so, okay, check this out. That's on the first layer of foam here. I'm noticing something already. This thing mounts with magnets. I like that. That is so cool that it mounts with magnets. You're not going to need any tools. You can collapse this down, pack it away, or put it together pretty easily. So that is going to be very cool. Now I think this comes in two colors, the white and the black. From the pictures, personally I prefer the black. But if you do get two of these and you want to play with somebody else, then you want to get both colors. But personally I like the black. Here is the base section. It's all plastic construction, has some little bumpers, front, back, and sides. Little controller, we'll look at it in a second. Let's get the rest out the foam. Wow, here's the cannon section. Here's a funnel to load the beads in. Oh wow, 2 batteries. Here's the second. I got excited. I showed you 1 battery, but there's 2 batteries. A bottle to, we'll talk about the ammo that comes with this, but this is for your ammo. Whoa, hello there. Actually, don't get too excited. This is actually the ammo. Put it in individual little packets here for you. Hard to stand here with this and not have a big cheese-eating grin on your face, but this is ammo. Interesting packaging. Protective wear. Let's get this foam out the way. They made this very simple. This can only go in one direction, and as you notice, there are 3 little alignment pins or alignment dowels right here. And on the base where it's gonna connect to, there are 3 holes. So you want to make sure that they're in the same direction as the dowels that are sticking out of here. And basically, this should just, wow. Oh my God, that's very actually satisfying. These are some strong magnets. They're probably those rare earth magnets. There you go. Look at that. It just pulls itself on, and it is not going anywhere once it's on here. Those are very nicely done. And these are those mechanism wheels, or I guess that's how you pronounce it, mechanism, but your omnidirectional wheels. I'm not sure. There's also another wheel called the Omni wheel. I'm not sure if that's different. But these wheels are designed to go forward and side to side, which pretty much this thing will crab walk without the actual wheel itself changing direction. This thing is pretty sick. So you get some safety glasses. Safety first. You get those so I guess you don't shoot your eye out like the Christmas Story. But that's what Ralphie should have wore. Alright, now this is a small gaming style controller and it has lots of buttons and functions that we will probably need to learn to get this thing to work. But I guess we'll have to go through the functions on this real quick. But let me go find some batteries and get this thing turned on.
All right, so I went to get batteries, and of course I come back several days later. Trying to do a video around the holidays is kind of tough. My boy Joe Bodybags Pfeiffer, UFC fighter, He's this guy here that's always behind me on this shelf. He called me up, got into a conversation with him. Then I had something else to do, and next thing you know, it was a couple days later. All right, we got the batteries installed, and I was going over the manual. If you want to keep somebody busy for a while, give them this tank and hand them this manual. There are so many controls on this thing. This thing does a lot. I was reading through here, and you can battle with other tanks. And basically, this has infrared, so it detects when it's hit, and you get feedback back to your controller. This thing is really advanced. It does a lot more than what I thought it would do. And controlling it, there are so many different combinations and everything. Kind of reminds me of playing the old Nintendos where you had to hit up, left, down, whatever to figure some stuff out to get special kicks and all. This thing is pretty wild. All right, so there's batteries in it. The ammo that comes for it, they're these tiny little balls. They're almost like caviar. These are blue. If you could see them, they're the little blue, little tiny seed looking things. You could tell they are tiny. Apparently, there's 500 in each of these packets. So I think there's a total of 5,000 rounds total between all these little packets in the weird packaging. So you put those in water. They provided a bottle for you. So you put those in water. I don't know if I would stick the whole bag in here. I would try maybe half a bag. I'm not sure if this can hold 5,000. I'm not sure if this can hold 500 of these gel bullets. So I would try half or even less to figure that out. And sorry if I had to stop this video again, I might not finish it. So I am not making them right now because it's 4 hours before they fully hydrate. And once they're hydrated, you end up with gel balls about this size. The ones included are actually blue, but these are for another machine gun that I have. But that's what you get. You get these 7 to 8 millimeter little gel bullets. These were actually for this gun here behind me. This one here is a lot more expensive. It does rapid fire. This does the same thing. It doesn't fire as fast, but this is literally an eighth of the cost of this. This, I can definitely say, is a bargain if you want something that, like, this doesn't even come on wheels. I'm actually building a truck just to mount this on. So this cannon already comes on a base and everything with wheels. So this is actually pretty cool. Now, it does have laser aiming. With laser aiming, you want to be careful. You don't want to point this in people's eyes or whatever. So keep in mind that the kids, when they're playing with this, there is a little cap included in this bag. Already got away from me. There is a little black cap included in this bag that I don't see anything for it in the directions, but it does fit right over the laser. So, oh, right here. It does fit on there. So I guess you could do that, but be careful because it comes off pretty easy and you don't want a kid swallowing this. Also, you don't want a kid swallowing these either. So put these away. This is for 14 years and older, so kids shouldn't have it anyway. But I forgot to mention, there are 2 charging cables for each of the batteries. There's 2 batteries. The batteries have to be removed from the tank to charge. It did take 3 AAAs for the remote, which I had to provide myself. They are not included. Here is your funnel for loading this thing. I guess we could throw some BBs in here, some of these gel bullets. I think it can hold up to 55 of them. I'm not putting that many in there. I don't know why. Every time I go to make a video lately, it's pouring outside, so I can't go outside. My living room right now is decorating for the holidays, so there's everything in the way. So I'm trying to find out how to, I'm trying to figure out how to test this thing out. The speaker for the music it plays is underneath, and the switch is right next to the speaker. So with remote controls, you always want to power your controller on first. So that's blinking right now because it has to bind. So it'll bind when this comes on. Oh, it vibrated. It's bound. And this is not a very big table. I'm scared to hit any button. It's pretty quick. Whoa. It's pretty quick. Whoa. That thing is quick. All right, there's one direction, and you could go the other direction. Forward, reverse. I'm nervous. Guess that's just a sound effect. There you go. You can listen to that for hours. All right, I don't know what the heck was that. All right. I found it. I was trying to find the low speed button. All right. That's a little bit more manageable on top of the table. There you go. This thing will crab walk. All right. Now, how do I... Oh, the Canon. How do I turn off that laser? Well, right now the laser's on, but I don't want to blind you guys, so how do I turn off that laser? All right, found it. Laser is off now. Actually, you know what? I'm going to try to shoot at my camera. Kids don't do this at home. I'm going to put on my safety glasses here, just in case it decides to ricochet. Let me see. Here, let's try that again, just in case. Wow, that's quick. Now, these balls are like wax or whatever. So if you step on one, it's just going to smush onto your carpet, rug, or whatever. So I don't recommend doing this inside. I'm going to find these balls a week later. But let me see. All right, that's the full range. That's the full range of motion for the Canon. But if you wanted to do a full 360, you could always make the vehicle itself, the tank itself, do a 360. So you can make the tank itself do a 360. It has this little guard in the front. Not sure what the real purpose of that is, because it doesn't lock in place. It just folds up or fold down. Maybe it's just for the appearance, but I don't see it doing anything much more than that. I'm gonna try to see it against the can. See if it... I'm gonna try this one more time. I'm gonna see what it does against this can. And hopefully the camera picks this up, but holy crap. Did you hear that? Did you see that? Wow. It literally dented the can. Look at that. That actually proves it does have some power behind it. So definitely be careful where you're aiming at. Don't aim at people's faces, because it can definitely hurt an eyeball. Turn that laser off. Here's a quick spin in my kitchen. Like I said, the rest of my house has decorations all over it. We're in the middle of decorating, so it's kind of a mess. But here it is. This thing crab walks. This is just on low, and you can do 360s in both directions. And speed-wise, I forget what the heck that is for. All right, now here's high speed. Whoops. Definitely much faster on high. So one of the coolest things about this that I just realized, this sound. Who remembers RoboCop? Sounds just like RoboCop. It actually is a lot of fun. If you had a couple of these around, it's almost like playing laser tag with LBBs if you had multiples. So this thing is actually pretty cool. Yeah, you could take a little target practice or whatever just to kill time. It's all about having fun, but it's pretty cool. I'll be posting a link to this in the description of the video. Currently right now is around $149, which that is 17% off. And for $149 is actually great. It's actually a lot more sophisticated than I thought it would be. It is a lot of fun. Those little gel beads, they go flying. Like I said, be careful with them. Be careful what you're aiming at, but they do fly pretty far. The mechanism wheels are actually pretty cool the way they move. Takes a little getting used to. This is probably the coolest thing I've seen with this type of wheel. A lot of the stuff I've seen with these type of wheels are very, very very on the low end of the toy market, or they're on very expensive robots that I've seen. So this is probably the coolest thing I've seen using these wheels. This is the Veeniix Storm Master V997 Storm Master. If you're interested in one, go in my description, click on the link. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.